IT audits, IT consulting. This is what we are going to touch upon in this podcast. So today I have with me a guest from KPMG UK. I will let him introduce himself.
Yeah, this is Adil Taher, and I just joined recently KPMG London office as a senior associate in within their IT audit practice. And previously, I was working with KPMG Pakistan 2.5 years. Then I moved to Mazars, Qatar, and then London happened, and here I am.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much for joining today for this podcast. I am sure this will be helpful for a lot of people who are in the IT space, whether in Big Four, whether in companies, those who want to look for a career abroad.
yeah,
So basically, layout of this video is we'll talking about the opportunities, the salaries, the scope of IT professionals, or a typical audit versus IT audit role, and some other stuff as well. So make sure you watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because that helps. All right.
yeah.
So
So,
getting started, number one, how different is the role of IT audit from audit? Have you had any talk? IT audit doesn't operate alone, right? It operates
yeah.
with a lot of people,
Mhm.
decent actual auditors who look after the financial statements or other individuals within different teams. So, what do you think is exciting for IT audit as against typical audit? What's your opinion?
Well, to be honest, the traditional audit, the scope, the amount of automation in the industry has been increasing and will increase in the coming future. So, scope of traditional audit has moved a little bit more into the IT audit space, and I think it will continue to increase. So, the difference basically is so majority of the applications, they are SAP, Oracle, and an MS Dynamics system, the controls within the application that supports the financial audit, and you get specific applications in like banking, insurance stuff, the aviation. That's the basically the difference between the traditional audit mainly focus on the financial statements and making sure that the balances tie up, so we make sure that the balances tie up automatically within the application, within the database. So you guys, we actually act as a support to traditional audit. So you guys can place assurance on our testing. That's how it differs from. And going forward, I think it's not just the IT audit, with the different technologies that we are actually hearing about, AI specifically, Chat GPT is one of them. You know, it will play a vital role in coming
Yeah, definitely.
years.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
Microsoft is enabling that in their Azure cloud. I think it's also coming in the Microsoft Teams as auto enabler for AI nodes. So you just
yeah,
don't need to write anything; it will generate everything. That will be cool. Awesome.
yeah.
So we will talk a bit about articleship, but before that,
Mhm.
if I have done my, let's say, 3 years of training as a CA trainee, or let's say 3 years of training as a ACCA, as part of your training requirement. Uh, if I have done that part, 3 years in auditing, 3 years in IT auditing, be it a company, be it a big four, now the question comes in the opportunities. Uh, I have seen a lot of typical auditors in a typical audit role moving abroad, but of course there are some IT auditors as well who gone overseas as well. But what do you think are the opportunities at the local level and the international level? Because again, one of the things that people think while going into CEO or CCA is the international affiliations, international mobility. So what's the
Yeah.
scope of that?
Okay, for IT audit, it's just not the CA or ACCA. It's basically there are certain different certifications. Specifically speaking, with CISA, there are C risk, and it's basically ISACA affiliated certifications that a person can if they want to increase their exposure,
Yeah.
so they can hop onto those certifications that would provide them an extended edge while into the interview. So that's an extended in as part of the certification, that's an extended leg. I haven't done my CISA. I'm preparing for it, and I look up to you because you have completed CFA. CFA level 2, perhaps.
Yeah.
The last time I saw one of your videos. Yeah. So it's a challenging task with with work and all this stuff. But yes, in order to increase your exposure, you have to hop on those certifications. So in terms of the opportunity, coming back to that question, so opportunities exist a lot. Uh, KPMG UK wasn't one of the organizations that I got a call from when I was applying. So I started applying when I had 2 years and 3 months of experience with KPMG Pakistan, and I landed my interview. First interview with was PWC Sydney.
Mhm.
So yeah, I ended up passing out the last round as well, but due to certain changes in the Australian governmental, they said that the Australian borders has been open, so we are putting this position on hold,
Mhm.
and we continue to look within the Australia. So it was I got then secondly I got offers from EY Singapore, uh EY Edinburgh, and then KPMG London. So yeah, I chose London. So yeah, locally in Pakistan, yes, there are many opportunities. In Middle East, even in Middle East, is they KPMG, PWC, EY, Deloitte, Mazars, Protivity is one of the top employers for the IT audit. So yes, the and it will continue to rise, to be honest. Now, when if I look back like 3-4 years back, only people with 5 to 7 years of experience were getting the opportunities or call from abroad. That yes, we want to hire you because you got certain set of expertise. But now what I've seen in IT audit, even you have got like 2.5 years of experience, you can really grab a good opportunity abroad. So yes, I think this after audit, external audit, this is the field
Mhm.
that can provide you an overseas exposure.
The good thing about this as against audit is you don't need to be part of Big Four really. If you are
Yeah,
in any good company with a strong set of skills in, let's say, one application being SAP or Oracle or maybe anything else, if there's a
hmm,
job of SAP and you have the skills, you have a good chance over there.
yeah,
While typical audit, if we see Big Four firms got higher chance as against smaller firms because of name, because of the way you work. But again, in IT audit, the application is same, and you both guys, be it firm, be it industry, is exactly doing same across both. That's
yeah.
the chances. All right, this is your experience, right? There's a lot of IT, and I think I have seen recently KPMG has the highest IT audit hiring in UK, or maybe something last year. So
Yeah,
I think
KPMG and PwC, they
there's
they are
there's
amongst
a lot
the
going on
yeah.
in this space. All right.
Hmm.
From external perspective, this is fine. And you mentioned 2 years, 3 years candidates are being considered as well. So what do you think is the typical position people are usually sourced from abroad? Is it as the senior associate, AM, manager, or what do you think usually?
Well, if you got 2.5, 2.5, 3 years of experience, I think you can hop onto a senior associate position. But given that fact, you have to do good in interviews.
Hmm.
I applied as an IT audit analyst because I just wanted to, have an abroad experience and exposure. I just wanted to get out. So when I applied at an IT audit analyst position. But in the interview, when I was on the last stage, they said, okay, but we we would discuss and get back to you. I think you should be hired at a senior position. That's what the senior manager in the interview said to me, and I was like, okay, fine. And when I got the offer letter, and it was the last position at an associate, which is a senior associate. After this position, there's an AM level,
Mhm.
and I think that's because I just had like 2.5 years of
Yeah.
experience in the IT audit field overall. if I speak.
Typically, I would
So,
expect for an AM, you should have like around 3.5, 4 years of
yeah,
experience. So,
yeah. So it was really a good opportunity that I'm exiting a market without me being completing, my articles.
yeah,
So within articles, you get an opportunity in UK. So that was one of the reason why I exited the local market.
that's helpful to know. Now, I think just talking about the part, the local opportunities, right? It's
Hmm.
fine. You have the expanding market abroad in IT space, so there are opportunities. But what about, let's say, Pakistan local market? We know there is a growing trend of fintech in Pakistan as well. As of now, a lot of different small entries are coming up, or let's say even e-commerce. So, what do you think is the IT audit future holds in Pakistan, or not even IT audit? Let's say just IT applications and the professional in that space. What's the future for them?
I think that the field, anything that's related to IT is gonna grow exponentially over the coming years because everything and you know has a component of IT. Well, whether we speak about doctor, medical field, engineering field, there are RPAs, robotic process automation, and all those stuff going on. So I would say even the software engineers, they're getting hired in Google, the Pakistani software engineers. So that's basically a good thing. I particularly and to be honest, the pay are higher than our field. To be honest,
Mhm.
yes. Uh, I've got a friend. Mm, he did masters in software engineering here from UK, and he just had like 2 years of experience, 2.5 years of experience, and with a masters, he was bagging masters. He's getting 70, 75.
Mhm.
This is a lot to be honest because uh, that's a manager salary to be honest when it comes to our field. So
Comes way less.
yeah, it's yeah.
Comes way less.
Yeah, most fellas. So yeah, so if someone is from the core IT background, yeah, they got a good opportunity. Well, speaking about the opportunity, you have to actually grab one. You should know how to apply for a position. Specifically, I look at your post. You're doing a great job saying that there are certain things that we need to cater while applying. Soft skills are important, communication skills are important because you know uh, at a video link, it's quite difficult for you to present yourself to show exactly what's your personality is about. So I would say that technical skills are important, but the soft skill matters a lot. Specifically speaking about the European countries, US, Canada, they actually value a lot the communication part. If you can't communicate yourself, I mean what you're trying to say, that's a bit of a bottleneck.
That
So if
I
you got
think
a
I'll add here one thing very, very important for those who are viewing.
Mhm.
There's a very famous line said by pretty much everybody here that we can teach you everything, technical skills we will teach you if you don't know anything at all. But you need to be confident, you need to be yourself, you need to be presentable.
Yeah,
Technical wise, once you come here, we will teach you. That's a
yeah,
lot of hiring managers actually say that. So
yeah, yeah.
that's very
So you just have to pass through that, uh, the communication, the presentation skills. So Eva actually does that. They ask you to prepare a slide. They give you a case study. You have to prepare a PowerPoint, and then you have to present in your interview. That's what happened with me when I interviewed with Eva Edinburgh.
cool. Now the part around, well, let's ignore salaries for now. We'll talk in the end. So the part around how you actually applied for UK role, especially, did you reach out to somebody? Did you apply through portal? And what was the actual process for you? If you can summarize that.
Okay, so I had job alerts, enable on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I used to get those. But specifically for this position, I applied through the KPMG careers website, UK, and used to search the LinkedIn. So yeah, and one more thing that I would like to say, when you're applying for the Big Fours or any other company, firms abroad, make sure your CV is ATS compliant, which is application tracking system, in a specific format, that you can Google it about what that uh, format is all about, because it you just don't want to get rejected by a bot. That yeah. So yeah.
There are so
Um,
many fancy CVs out there, with
yeah,
pictures and stuff like that, which bot doesn't recognize.
yeah, symbols and all that stuff. You just have to be a pretty plain and professional looking CV. So yes, yeah, the career portals, and there's one more thing that you can do. You can look out for the HR of those firms. You can add them on LinkedIn, ask for them for referrals. If they can't refer you, they will actually refer you the careers website. I've done that and I got the same answer, that you apply over here, go over here, apply over here, and that's what you can do. I actually, I mean, discuss about the position. If for example, you are in my connection, um, on LinkedIn, I would actually have a discussion with you in case there's a position I could refer you in KPMG UK specifically. So yeah, you can check out for the referrals who are doing this kind of activity. I see a lot of people, referring people in their organization, because they search through the portal, they can refer you. So that's a good, and good opportunity for you.
Right now, the last bit about salaries. I know you came on senior associate. Typically, I would expect people to usually aim for an AM level after having 3 years, at least 3.5 years of experience. So,
Yeah.
do you have any insight on, number one, a range of salary? Number two, how it varies from the typical audit role? Is it higher? Is it supposed to be higher or lower?
Well, I know the KPMG salaries, uh, the IT audit overall salary band for the IT auditors than the traditional audit is
Mhm.
higher, and it differs like 4-5 thousand pounds per year. If I'm speaking
Yeah.
the salary range between traditional audit and IT audit, because we are considered as specialists,
Yeah.
so specialist gets paid a little higher than the. I'm not
They,
saying
they
the
are they
traditional
are
auditors are. Yeah, I'm not saying that the traditional auditors are not specialists. Don't, take that word of mine. But IT
Don't
auditors
worry,
are
I can say that. I can say that traditional auditors are not specialists because it's very clear in the firms like UK, US. The audit has been divided into not thousands, at least hundreds of different departments. I can count
yeah.
pensions, tax, DTRB, treasury, finance instruments, credit risk, IT,
Hmm. Yeah.
pension is counted already. And then there are other like credit center of excellence and
Yeah, insurance, yeah, all
insurance
the stuff.
things out there. So everybody is
Yeah.
doing their work separately.
Hmm. So yes, if you, if I want to give you a range, I with considering the UK's going inflation rate and all around the Europe and the Americas, I would specifically speak for UK. For the senior associate role, you would expect someone from something from 42 to 47,
Mhm.
in between this range.
Yeah,
And for AM, it is 52 to 58, depending on the level you get.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the only thing I'll probably add is this again, you mentioned this is for London. Don't expect the same salary
Mm,
in Edinburgh or Bristol or other cities because it's going to
yeah,
be lower.
it's going to be a little lower, probably 3 to 4 thousand difference.
Just compensate for the cost of living to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. I think that's been really helpful. Any final thoughts on this space before we close out?
Yeah, so anyone who needs, IT support, IT discussion, they can reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile, and I'd be really, really happy for to help people. Even not only in IT. I got some friend in audit as well. A little bit of background, not a background, but a knowledge of audit. So yeah, if someone needs to pick up that stuff, they can have a discussion with me. I think I'll be able to guide you. And lastly, I would suggest everyone to subscribe to your channel and uh, like your page. You're doing a wonderful job, and I like it, and I endorse it a lot because you're really putting a quite of effort making videos with this kind of lifestyle at a manager level. It's not easy.
It's
So
not
a round of
easy.
applause. Yeah, a round of applause for you.
Yeah.
So and thanks for thanks for connecting with me and bringing me on your show. I hope. Do you have a name for it?
Well, for my podcast.
For the podcast, or
Well,
do you
my
say
LinkedIn.
ACCA careers, right?
No, my LinkedIn newsletter, let's say, or
Yeah,
even this goes by the name of finance and social. So it's bringing an element of finance with life together.
yeah,
I think that was the name I thought after long time. I have to do something
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, best of luck and continue doing it. I like your videos, especially these videos. I actually developed a lot of confidence from these videos. Specifically, one guy from the US who moved from Bahamas to US. You interviewed it. One guy in the Luxembourg. I think he was your friend, and one was in UAE.
I've got friends in pretty much every country now.
Same here. In last year, everyone, even the islands. I've got friends in islands. I came in Bahamas, Bermuda, Guernsey, you name it. Yeah.
It's really good. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.